And today, we're going to talk about getting out of the way, child. If you don't want me, then don't talk to me. If you don't want me, don't talk to me. And this episode, we're going to identify. We're going to point out ways so you can know and recognize if you are a user. Boom!
Sorry.
I'm excited, guys. I'm excited today. Welcome back to the couch. Welcome back to the couch. Okay, so today, we want to just thank each and every one of you for tuning in today. January 31st, we made it through a whole month of the new year. How y'all feel?
Wonderful.
Not too bad.
Not too, okay. Has the new year been good to you so far?
Great.
It has, actually.
It's been going great.
What's up, Nadia?
New things underway.
Okay.
What is it?
New things underway.
Nadia got about 10 jobs already.
God.
It's just been one. Are you addicted to work?
No, I am addicted to
More
More
money. Look,
more money without the problems.
I feel you.
Chrissy.
New business adventures. Go be traveling a whole lot more. Period.
Tell the people what's up.
What you doing?
Hey. I said, if you're in the Atlanta area and you are interested in getting away as a staycation, or if you're a nurse and you're traveling and you're here for 6 months and you need a cute place to crash for 6 months that's safe and quiet and quaint, my friend got an Airbnb just for you.
She got all
Period.
Airbnb.
Period. So go to her page.
And she got some
to get more
that's
information,
coming.
okay? And Mary Elise.
Got your stuff going, boy.
Thank you, my boy.
What's up?
I appreciate you.
That's what the new year is doing.
Right on.
Okay. So I hope everybody's having a good new year so far. And today, before I start, make sure y'all press that subscribe button
Subscribe.
before we get into this topic. Press the ding so we can get that ding. Okay.
Press it.
And Jasmine, we love you. We miss you. She's out doing some great things in the earth. So we send her love and light.
Being that Bobby.
Jab
And she'll be back, y'all. So
See you
today,
soon. I bet.
guys, we're going to talk about something that's been really plaguing the earth. Everybody is just in this mood where y'all just want to use people.
Mm.
And today, guess what? It stops here. Come on and look. If you even sitting near somebody in your home, if you're riding in the car by yourself, just go ahead and say it. I will no longer use God's people. Come on, say it. I will no longer use God's people. Even if they don't even believe it's a God, they still a child of God. You got to treat people right. And today, we're going to talk about getting out of the way, child. If you don't want me, then don't talk to me. If you don't want me, don't talk to me. And this episode, we're going to identify. We're going to point out ways so you can know and recognize if you are a user. And we're going to point out ways to know if you're being used. Because sometimes we could be used and we don't even be knowing it. We just be giving. And because it's our natural instinct, when no, baby, you're being used. You got to save some of those gifts for yourself, okay? So today, we just going to break it down for y'all. And I'm going to start. Are you a user?
I have been.
Are you go ahead and ask somebody near you. Are you a user? Because half the time people don't even know that they're doing it. Half the time people don't know that they're using people. They just be out here just living life carelessly. So, you ever use somebody, Nadia?
Mm-hmm.
What happened? Tell us.
Well, not that it makes it any better, but this person pursued me. He was in pursuant of me. And I just kept saying no, no, no. And they were just willing to do whatever to be in my presence. And you still got no time. But I just allowed them to keep buying things, paying for things, and knowing it wasn't going nowhere. And then when I needed something or wanted something, not physically, monetarily, materially, I just call them. They get it. But yeah, I use them for sure.
So this one you knew. That
I knew that. I knew it. Because I knew he liked me. So, hey.
Chrissy?
I did. It's above me now. Here's the thing though. For one, I did know I was using him. Like that was
You said you didn't?
I did know.
Oh.
That was Mr. Right.
Mm-hmm.
He was such a sweet man.
He was a sweet man.
He was such a sweet man.
But I told him from jump, I'm saying, now listen, this ain't permanent. This is for now. But then, same instance, I received the gifts. I gave the time, or he gave me his time and food and money. I just thank you, appreciate you. It was delicious food, actually. It was amazing. And he got upset because I wasn't giving the same. But in my mind, I was like, I told you from the beginning, this ain't what it is. So with him, I knew that I was using him. Now, for someone that I didn't know, I really liked this person. I really, really did. And it wasn't brought to my attention that I used them until I talked to y'all. So it was like I used him for his energy. Right. I used him for his energy. But it was like we had a mutual connection in that. So it was like I wanted more of it. I wanted more, but I didn't want more as far as an intimate relationship. But I wanted a relationship with him. So I guess I used him for that. Like for the relation, not the intimacy, because we really weren't intimate. I didn't let it get, the good feeling that I brought about when he was around.
When you say y'all didn't get intimate, what does that mean? When
we
you say
we never got intimate. We never had sex.
No, not that intimate.
Like, intimate time, yes.
That's what I'm saying.
We had intimate time.
That's what you wanted more of.
Yes.
Okay.
And he wanted more all around, but that's not what I wanted. But in my mind, I was like, well, I mean,
you just need
it's good
space
here.
Filler.
So it wasn't a good space filler. It was, for me, it was like, okay, so I like you here.
Intimacy.
Maybe we can go here. I'm not there yet, but maybe if I play the role, it'll start to feel real, but it wasn't. I still wanted to be here, but I didn't want him to go nowhere.
Right. I get it.
You know,
when you say you want to be here,
I wanted to be here as far as just the friendship role that I wanted from him, that type of intimate connection. But I didn't want more from him. I didn't want the relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, I didn't want that, but he did. So in my mind, it was just like, well, if it's good here, maybe it could be here, but my feelings went into that. So I guess I played into him wanting me that way, but still in my mind telling him, no, this is what it is, but me showing more. Right, me showing more.
Gotcha.
So I used his feelings for me to keep him around because I wanted to feel that way.
Lord!
Here we go.
You so extra.
Man. Joy, have you... Yes, I have used. But it wasn't in my using days
that we're above. Using days.
And when we say using, we ain't talking about no drills. We talk about using people and God's children and not really taking care of them well. But I was real immature, like really young in this. And I can say in my adult years, I didn't use anybody. They all knew. It had to, the day that I found out that I was using this person that I was using at the time, it hurt me so bad that I was like, I didn't want any other human being to feel that way at my expense. In my expense. Like, I felt really, really heavy regret. Watching somebody that really loved me, but I ain't love them back. And they'll do anything for me, but I'm not doing that for you. And I just thought it was always better to let that person find the same love that they were given. Because they deserve to be showered with those gifts too, and showered with that time. So, this goes into our first way. This is a way that you can recognize if you are the user, because a lot of women are doing what Chrissy's doing.
Did.
Chrissy did, and Nadia did, and I did. You guys are getting with people who, and this goes for men and women, you're getting with people and human beings who really, really are into you guys. And because you're not there yet, you stick around because it is good. And it's very good. Because you're going to get the type of love that you deserve, right? And they deserve that back. So y'all have to start letting people go that you are not thinking long term with. And like the moment, I like this for the moment. He's the chocolate that I go dip into when I just want a little craving.
Here we go.
People are not desserts. You cannot just pick them up after dinner and put and just,
Unless
what you say? Unless what?
Unless
what?
Unless they want to be dessert.
Oh, unless they want to be dessert. And guess what that takes, Chrissy? Communication.
Correct.
But you cannot, people. You cannot use people and have them thinking and assuming because you kissing them in the mouth, you doing all the things that say, I'm in this with you, when your heart is not there. It's called manipulation. We learned what manipulation was today, because I thought it was just a act when a person is tricking you into doing something that you want to do or don't want to do, but you're doing it anyway. So I'm thinking that was manipulation, but my girlfriends taught me that no. Manipulation could be you knowing about it or you not knowing about it. It's still manipulation because it's deceitful. So we are trying this year not to be deceitful, okay? So Chrissy, give us one way. Chrissy, give us one way where a person can start to identify if they are the user, if they don't know.
If you see that they are doing more and you're not even doing the bare basics of even the check-in, or if you feel as if, just like you said, if they're doing something that you yourself wouldn't do for them, you most likely you using them. Like I'm not gonna come out at 3:00 in the morning to come pick you up from somewhere. I'm not doing that. I love you, but I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna pick up the phone every time you call. I'm not doing it, but they will in the first ring. It's a little off balance. So yeah, if it's not the same energy, just step away.
So reciprocate. Go ahead. When it ain't being reciprocated, we got to go.
Reciprocation.
What you think is a way that a user can recognize, oh, dang, it's me.
When you have to kind of prepare yourself to deal with that person.
Mm-hmm.
Like you gotta prep yourself like
there you go.
Hey, let me smile. Let me go and put this smile on and answer the door.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he ain't there. Even though when you answer the door, it's gonna be a nice gift at the door.
Always him.
And it's like,
So if you gotta tolerate them,
yeah,
you
have a feeling of tolerating that person. Yeah,
you get all the benefit from it, but you still
and that person be so happy to see you. They look what I got you. You like, hey,
you make my heart smile.
Right, you crying in the inside.
You're welcome, but just about to
Chrissy.
That is above me now.
That is above me now. Okay. So when they're not reciprocating, and when they have to prep themselves to come around. Okay. So if y'all doing any of those things, a person, if you are not considerate of a person's time and feelings.
Uh-huh.
So what does that mean, Joy? When you are not considerate of their time, meaning you'll set a date. You'll set a date and you'll throw all the fancy text messages all in the thread, baby. I want to go out. I can't wait to see you. I need you to wear that dress that I bought you. I can't wait to sit across the table and look into your beautiful eyes and look at you smile all night. You do all that to come to the day of.
Hey, baby, and
I'm at the restaurant.
I ain't gonna be able to do
Not at the restaurant.
At the restaurant. Oh,
Okay.
I've been through some things. You're at the restaurant, dressed and ready to go, and this person texts you, I'm on the way.
Not on the way.
On the way. Uh-huh.
And
Then you wait,
in a whole different state.
and they never show up.
Yeah,
And guess what happened, y'all? This still ain't the end. Guess what happened? They will call the next day and give you a grand story. If a person is doing that, you're a user. You're using God's people and it ain't for good. And it stops when, y'all, today. If a person is doing that to you, you are being used. If you are sitting at the restaurant just like I was, because I'm not talking about something I don't know. If you were the person sitting at that restaurant waiting on this person to show up because you believe their word, and once they show you that their word means nothing, get on up out of there. And guess what? And if you're the person who keeps giving words that you can't keep and giving promises that you can't keep, you need to move. Get out the way. Okay? Because you're called time wasters. And I don't like time wasters. Because you're wasting my time. And we got lives to live and families and things to build, and time wasters really make that hard for us. So when they are not considerate of your feelings and of your time, let it go. And if you are the person that's doing those things where you just call or where you think that everybody just is at your beck and call, come talk to a therapist. Please come talk to somebody, because there's some screws that need to be tightened. Okay? So I think that's a way. And another way is to identify that you are the user. If you only call that person when you need something, baby, start calling people just to say, hey, even if it's not your normal thing to do. Start picking up the phone and calling people just to say hello, just to check on them. I'm just checking on you. I don't want nothing. I'm just checking on you. Start doing it. Because if you find yourself always calling people when you need something and then you get it, because normally users always have what they need. Y'all notice that?
Because they go find somebody to give it to them.
They always have what they need. And then it might be the principle of ask and you should receive.
Yeah. But
know?
I mean, with intention too. I think it comes with intention. So if you're intending, because I know I can get it for you, I'm going to ask you instead of, you know what, I love this person and I want to show gratification. If there's no gratification along with that ask, then no. Because I've been user and I've been used. So, to see it from both aspects, if I feel like you're always coming to me, you always need this and I don't get a thank you, I don't get a nothing. And it's not even the fact that I'm looking for you to do something for me, but just at least the acknowledgement. Yeah. Like, hey, I appreciate, oh, okay, you do? Oh, so, give my stuff. No.
Okay. Give us a time where you were used.
Oh, it's pretty recent. It's fresh wounds.
It's above you now.
It's above me.
It's above her now.
Oh, God. Yeah. So, I mean, karma came and bit me in the ass. What can I say?
Ouch! You can say ouch.
Yeah. It came around. It came in the form. It almost came in the exact same way. Don't do that. Okay.
I mean, we attract who we are. We attract who we are.
Yeah. So it was with someone that I really liked, and it wasn't supposed to be the relationship that I wanted it to be. So we both went in with the aspect of, okay, so this is what it is, right? And then I wanted more. I wanted more. And just like how it was when I was in that position, they were like, I can't, but I enjoy your company. Can we just stay here? And I'm like, no, because you're not even giving me the necessity or the basics to even stay here. Like, you're pulling away and I got to do all the work. No, I can't do that. So I feel like they used me for a safe space, mentally, physically. It was just like, because they knew they can get it. And me, my butt, I might open the door for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm at fault as well. And until I said no, I let that door open and they can come and go as they please. So of course they can use me because I didn't mind being used.
Come on.
But what is it? It is
Above you now.
it's above me. Now.
What do you think makes people stay in the position like of being used? Like they, especially when, because we always know, even if you don't know in the beginning, God always dropped that little thing. The light bulb comes on and it says, "I'm being used. Everything I'm giving this person is not being reciprocated in any kind of way, and I'm drained. I'm depleted."
Because you think it's going to change. You hold on to that potential that if I do this, then maybe they'll come around.
Even after being the user.
Even after being the user and being used, knowing good and well, because I wasn't dumb to the fact.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So maybe I was like, well, maybe if I shift this way, it'll come, or they will come in and be in the same vein as me. No, it doesn't matter what you do.
So what was your turning point from user to being used?
UZ.
What was do you remember? Point? And Nadia, you can answer that too. Like, what was what was the thing where you said to yourself, probably should stop doing that?
After after the one that called me last night.
Mm-hmm. See, y'all, we living it. This is real time, real life, baby.
It's real time. But that was almost like a solidification of it. Mm-hmm. Like, that was 100%. I knew I shouldn't do this. But before then, it was when I didn't even know that I did hurt that person, the same person. Mm-hmm. And you had to come back and tell me. And I was like, damn, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't mean to. Even though I knew what my actions were, I knew I was like, oh, I can go to him, whatever I need to, but I didn't know that it hurt that bad to the point where he was like, no, I can't even talk to you anymore. I'm like, dang, that hurt my stomach.
Okay. Oh, I got one. So even when you said that, it just dawned on me too, like, what, as a user, because people who are the user and don't recognize that you're the user and don't recognize that that behavior really hurts the person that's connected to you, that actually loves you for real. What is it in the user that doesn't see that this actually hurt? Because there was not a phone call for 2 weeks. And in those 2 weeks, the person that's on the other end is like, I thought we had this, I thought we had that. But in that user state, the user doesn't even notice that 2 weeks passed.
Because you're so absorbed and you're used to, like you said, not considering that person's time.
Right.
You're not considerate of that person at all. So really, that person doesn't matter in your life until they matter.
And I guess so we could say if they're not checking up on you, that might be a clear indication.
Or even keep their word, because I didn't keep my word. And that's what happened with this recent relationship. It was always a fault. It was always, oh, I'm doing this, but like, you lose the potency of your words if your actions don't line up. So I didn't recognize that in its totality until I was in the used position. Like, this how it felt. Damn, I'm sorry. So now it's making me go back to the ones that I hurt intentionally and unintentionally. Like, damn, I didn't know. I knew, but I didn't know. Mm-hmm. So now that I do, like, I have to come and be accountable for my shit. Mm-hmm. I'm so sorry. And it's so weird because we had the conversation yesterday morning about this person. That night they hit me and we had like a completely different conversation.
Did you apologize?
I did.
You did. That's good.
I did. And
Cause every time, let me tell y'all something. Every time you open the door with a little love and compassion, and I'm not even talking about to the person that you even want to reconcile with. God will make a way when your heart is postured in line with that desire. I'm
Correct.
telling you. In the same day, it'd be less than 24 hours that what you ask for will come to you. And I'm glad that y'all talked. I think that's dope. That person was a dope person. Still is.
still is. Right.
But I think it's dope when we can, instead of doing the regret trip, we go to the lesson trip. And instead of feeling regret, we just take it as lessons. And users, instead of feeling bad, like, dang, I be using people, I've been doing this. Just change it.
Yeah. Change your actions.
Just change it. And because you will be in the seat. All of us, everything is connected. Everything is it's a cycle.
Yeah.
So you're gonna
Never
be
ending.
Correct.
you're gonna be in the seat, and in that seat, when you are the one being used, just like I told Chrissy when she was in the seat, laugh. And Nadia tell you, take this one to the chin, keep it moving, get out of the way.
Until you use
Okay, Nadia, when was your turning point? Did you have a situation?
Yeah. I just was like, this doesn't feel good for me. I'm too available for this person. I'm too vulnerable for this person. I'm everything for this person. And I'm not getting that same back. So you know what? I gotta let you go, babe. Regardless of how it feels to me to let you go. Regardless of how it feels to you. I know that's what's best for me. So I'm just gonna have to let you go. And it was just like one of them things where they call like, hey, yeah, so, and you have to really sit in it and be like, nah, dog, we ain't gonna be able to do that today. And then you get comfortable with that no.
Yeah.
And then now this no is a way of life.
Yeah.
And it's just, no, I'm good. So now when I go into the next situation, you're not gonna use me because I'm gonna tell you no, flat out.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that realization on both sides, being used or being the user, when you come to that moment like, dang, I really did that, or dang, that person really did. You don't want to feel like that, and you don't want nobody else to feel like that.
That's what we hope.
I mean, if you got some kind of heart,
Right.
that's
Some conviction about
correct.
you. And too, while you were saying that, this popped in my head. If you are the person being used, they normally turn into the user because they think that was the more powerful person in the relationship, or the person who had the most power. And that, I just want to say, is not a sign of power.
They want to get their lick back.
It's a sign of weakness, then a mug.
Yep.
Okay? So if you are the person that's being used, do not turn into the user. Be the person that is looking for accountability in that other person. A person that holds themselves accountable. That's the number one thing in relationships that y'all need in relationships, and accountability. If both of y'all are being accountable, ain't no room for nothing else. If both of y'all said, nah, you know what, I can work. Nah, I'm gonna work on me. If both of y'all working on you, it's gonna work. Mm-hmm. Okay, so don't turn into the user, people. Okay, be the sweet, loving person that you are. Okay, why is it important to get out the way?
Cause you holding up space for greatness that somebody might be able to experience. You're in the way of that, and vice versa. Mm-hmm. They might be holding up, blocking it away from whoever coming in and treating you like you're supposed to be treated. And that goes intimately, platonically, business wise, whatever. Don't let nobody waste your time. You know what I mean? Don't let them waste your time, be in your way, and just because you want to save face, like, I'm going to just let it be what it is. Mm-hmm. Nah, bro, you got to go. Excuse me. Let me get this. Mm-hmm. Let me get what's really for me. Yeah. And let me give you what's really for you. Let me get out of your way. Because really, being a user is very selfish. It's all personal gain. Mm-hmm. Nothing has to do with the other person at all. And it's like in that moment, he's like, and they're willing to do everything for me. Willing to do anything. They'll do this. And then when you first of all, when you mature, you like, now I need to cut my shit out. Now I need to stop. I really need to stop. Mm-hmm. And And it's sometimes when you're used to being in that position, it's hard to give that up.
Mhm.
It's hard to be like, dang, this man willing to do whatever.
Mhm.
I gotta get that up.
Ooh, got the t-shirt and the mug
Let
in the
me-
bag.
Yeah, let me
Especially
get
like
that
for
up.
people who are not used to that, like
Mhm.
you go be here and they get so fixated on someone actually fulfilling all that role and they ain't got to do nothing. Of course, they can get comfortable there.
It's comfortable and it's good.
And it
Right.
feels great.
And it feels
It's
great.
good. It's
But,
good.
It's
yeah,
relaxing.
But it's not right.
It ain't,
Right.
and it ain't healthy at the end of the
Right.
day. Why is it important to get out the way? So, because you got to get out of people's way because it really messes with their mental. And when I say that, I mean my experience as being the one that was a user. I definitely had to stop because it got crazy. Like showing up to your house, they start banging on the doors,
He almost got
busting
shot.
windows. Who almost got shot?
Ooh, yeah.
People go. So hear me out.
Look at Gangsta Boo over there.
Saying,
What's up?
It's above us now.
That ain't.
It's above us now.
They can still get it.
It's above us now. So people, you can't play with God's people. Okay, human beings, we have to start treating them right because people aren't always nice. They don't always take the high road.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, everybody is not mentally in a place to forgive you and move on peacefully. You have to remember that. So when you out here playing with people's hearts and really taking their mind and wrapping it up around your finger, understand that when that thing unwrap on you, it may
That
not
rubber
feel
band
as
gonna
pretty.
pop back.
It's not gonna feel as pretty. And you're gonna be calling her crazy when your hands are the one that sewed that thing up like that, okay?
That weaving
So
wool.
it's important to leave and move out the way when you know you ain't got no business and you don't want no responsibility for that person's heart.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
And also at the same time, don't be discouraged about giving. If you have been used, don't let it stop you from giving.
I ain't giving none.
Just make
Yep.
sure it's for the right people
Mhm.
that deserve it because your intentions are pure, right? It's coming from a pure spot, a pure place, hopefully. And if it is, just make sure you're in pure company. That's all.
I think the thing is with giving is people like us, we're givers.
Mhm.
You can be a stranger on the street. We're givers. But some part of that is I'm giving because of how it makes me feel. But the genuine way to give is to give only when you're led to.
Yeah.
So that way you don't feel I shouldn't have did that.
Mhm.
I
I
shouldn't have
did
gave.
too much.
Yeah, I did too much
Mhm.
because if you can get caught up in just being a giver and giver, I'm just a giver, and I ain't even half of that is really for self gratification,
Right.
Because I love the way it feel when they open the gift.
Right.
When they
Mhm.
eat
So it's for
food,
self
yeah.
gratification, but then there's the other part that's like, thank I gave to this person because I know they really needed it and they're happy with it. Not that it made me
Yeah,
happy,
right,
but they're
right.
happy with it. But giving from a place of being led will stop you from feeling like
Regret later about it.
I should have kept my Twitter dollars. Put that in the tank.
Get a little 5 for 5.
Get a little Bojangles meal, little something, little burger or something. What you could
Yep.
get a little 4 for 4 from Wendy's.
A biggie bag.
Right.
So, yes, y'all. Get out of people's way. Allow them the space to find the love of their life. Because it ain't you.
Mm.
And you know that. That's not something new. You know that you're not trying to wipe them up. You know that you ain't trying to make that man your husband. So stop taking all the money out of his bank account. Stop taking all them gifts. Stop taking all the things that you are not going to give back. And even when he called you to even come do something nice for him, you can't even pick up your phone. Stop taking from a well that you just only taken from and ain't given to. Okay? People are not banks. They are not refrigerators. They are not houses and cars and things. They are humans. We got to start taking care of each other. So get out of the way.
If you want
Go ahead. Buy yourself a toy.
Thank you, Chrissy.
You're welcome.
So we're gonna get out of people's way, y'all, aren't we?
You're welcome.
And two, users, if you recognize after this episode that you are indeed a user, it's okay. You can change today. And both of you, users and usees, y'all both need to talk to a life coach before you enter into a new relationship. And if you go to my website, creativeenergy.life, you can set up an appointment today with me to get out of those bad habits by attracting and staying with people who use you and being the user, okay? So I hope this episode has helped you. If it did, go ahead and leave a comment. And y'all, listen, I'm for real. Because y'all watching me right now. Leave a comment right now. I need everybody to just go drop some green hearts and subscribe.
Orange.
Okay? Use those fingers. That's what you can use.
Oh,
Use those fingers and
God.
type me some green hearts, okay? Y'all say bye to y'all people.
Bro, don't
Bye,
let your little user go now.
Users.
Valentine's Day.
What happened?
You said wait for what?
Valentine's Day coming up. You better wait, boy, before you cut your look. Off.
Oh, yeah.
Valentine's Day coming. You better.
Y'all if you have to spend Valentine's Day alone, do it. Sugar ain't no sugar when you got to give it away. Okay?
You better think about it, boy. Got a couple more weeks.
And
boy.
users, this for my users. Call the person that you used, even if it was 10 years ago. Call them. Let me say something. You can't call them because you might not have their number and you might be blocked. But put out in the atmosphere that you want to apologize and that you sincerely want to do that. Have a heart posture change. And if you are still attached to that person or connected to the person that you used, it's okay to apologize. Chrissy showed us that today. It's okay to apologize. It's okay to open up space for them to let that go as well. Mm-hmm. Okay? So please do that. I want to say that before you go. All right. That was good, girls. Everybody in this room is not going to be a user and we ain't going to be used. For his glory only. Hallelujah. I'm a mother.
Something's wrong with that.
All right, so before you go, there's one thing that I want you to know. No matter where you at, no matter what you do, there is always room for who? You on the what?
Couch.
Peace,
On
y'all.
the couch.
Have a good Tuesday. A good Tuesday. A good Tuesday.
Put your fingers down.
What is wrong, man? What's wrong with you?
Hey man, you a fool for this one?